So the first thing we do here is turn the battery on. The battery is always stays off at night. It's protection just in case. So the battery goes from off to on position. Next thing, before we get into any details, we want to have a general look around the engine just in case if they had anything during the night happen while we're away. It could be an oil leak, it could be a coolant leak. Just want to make sure you have a visual check around the engine that there's nothing unusual, that something happened overnight when the engine actually cooled down. This one's a Scania engines. They are BI 12 model, so they're 12 litres, about 350 horsepower each. Electronic injection engines, so very nice. And yeah, again, it's been really good for us. So the next thing we're going to do is check the engine oil. So for this, want to find yourself a clean rag. Want to make sure we don't want to drip any oil in the bilge while we're doing this, so make sure you grab this. So the first reading is never is good, so you always want to clean the dipstick first and then check it in. So as you can see on the dipstick here, we have two marks, minimum and maximum. So ideal line is the middle of between them, but we want to be close as possible to maximum line, so there's no risk of running the engine with low oil that way. So basically, dip her in. Once again, you hold the rag underneath so you're not dripping anything. And we're looking at here, we are close to the minimum line. So I won't be happy with this one for running this engine today, because this engine will be running for about 8 hours. So we have a risk of this oil going even lower. So we're just going to put probably about a couple of litres of oil. I want to bring it to the middle line here between minimum and maximum. Okay. So we have an oil safe container here, and we want to make sure we're putting the right oil in the engine. So we have two different type of oil that we use around the engines. We have 15W40, which is this container here, and then for the gearbox, what we call for this one particular model DD40, but most of the other boats is 1030, which is a thicker oil for the gearbox. So we want to make sure we don't want to put this oil into main engine 1540 what we're after. So I got here 3 litres of it that's already in this oil safe container, and I'm making sure there's 1540. Once again, when I'm doing this job, always want to have a rag around handy just in case. Want to make sure the funnel is very clean too. You don't want to put anything into the engine. And we're going to pour about 2 litres, and then we stop and have a look again. That's about 2 litres for now. Now you want to wait about a minute or so, allow that oil to go to some, so you're not going to get a wrong reading. And remember, nothing worse than overfilling the engine with oil. You can do more damage in the engine that overfilled than under. Alright, so now we checked it, It's in the middle mark here, between the low and the high mark. So I'm happier now, and I know the engine's got enough oil. Yeah. Right guys, so now we check the oil. Next thing we're going to check the coolant. So you basically what you're looking at here, same again, you're checking the color here, making sure the coolant color hasn't changed overnight, just in case if there was any leak or anything, so we can have an oil contaminating coolant, which will end up with the milky looking color, and making sure the level's the same, the color's the same, nothing unusual, and you're happy with that. Because the coolant expands when it gets warmer, so when you're filling up the coolant tank, you always allow a little bit of room. So some of the engines we have, they actually have a separate coolant tank where the expanded coolant goes into it, where on those ones we don't have it, so we want to make sure that we allow about that much room from the top for the coolant to get up and down. So we're happy with our coolant as well, so we check that. We check the oil, and then we've done our visual check. Nothing unusually looking around the engine. So next thing we're good to start the engine. So one thing we want to make sure when we're starting the engine here, we keep an eye on our battery levels. If the batteries are getting a bit low, when we start it, it will drop quite a bit. We want to make sure that it's not happening as well. There will be our indication that our battery is getting a bit low on voltage. So turn the battery on, and next thing we're going to start her up. Now battery is charging, about 28 volts. Very happy with that. Once we start the engine, we want to make sure all the visual checks are done in the engine room. Now we need to make sure that we have enough overboard discharge coming out. So we have two cooling systems. So you have the internal system, which is your coolant that we checked before, and then we actually use normal salt water to cool down the coolant as well. So the checking, making sure we have enough discharge, you basically lean back and you want to check, make sure you got enough water coming from your exhaust pipe here.